Cerritos College serves 11 very diverse cities, so I love to go out into them to record videos that make connections between the communities we live in and the literature we read in class literally more visible. For example, in one of my earlier videos for our Masterpieces of World Literature class, I went to Heritage Park in Santa Fe Springs so we could see a replica of one of the traditional dwellings of the indigenous people of the land where Cerritos College now stands, the Tongva, before we read the myth of Taraxachan. Speaking of making things more visible, in this particular case, time, you can tell that was an earlier video because I still had a beard when I recorded it. For this module of our Masterpieces of World Literature class, we'll turn our attention to two stories through which we'll explore the culture of a community of more recent arrivals to what we now know as Los Angeles County and Orange County, the Jains. One of the most ancient religions still practiced in the world today, Jainism originated in India. So my first thought for this video was to travel only about 3 miles from the Cerritos College campus to the Little India community in the city of Artesia. Ultimately though, I decided to drive only a little farther, about 7 miles from campus, to this, the Jain Center of Southern California in the city of Buena Park. For those sticklers out there, yes, I actually left our district when I crossed the line between Los Angeles and Orange counties, but students cross that same imaginary line, traveling in the opposite direction to attend Cerritos College all the time. Cerritos College has had an endowed scholar of Jain thought leadership since 2021, when we became the first community college in the United States to have such a position. Similarly, the closest campuses of both the University of California and California State University systems to our California Community College, UC Irvine, and Cal State Long Beach now have endowed chairs in Jain studies. All 3 of those positions are supported by donations from the same 2 families, the Modis and the Shaws. As Nina Agrawal points out in her Los Angeles Times article, little known outside India, Jainism spreads at colleges amid calls to decolonize studies. This trend of endowing chairs and or scholars of Jain studies at American colleges and universities has happened at an interesting time in higher education. Many professors have been working to decolonize the curricula of our courses by moving away from exclusively Eurocentric perspectives. Our Masterpieces of World Literature class this semester offers a perfect opportunity for us to explore the perspectives of cultures from all around the world, including from here in Southern California, through their myths, stories, poems, and plays. While we will read literature from European cultures such as the Greeks and the Romans, we will also carefully consider the works of writers from countries such as China and India. Speaking of India, in this module we will be reading 2 Jain stories, Ardra Kumara and Arama Soba. Both of these stories appear in the Mula Sudi Prakarana of Pradhyamansari, written a little before 1100 CE. For our class, we'll be reading the translations of them from The Forest of Thieves and The Magic Garden, an anthology of medieval Jain stories. The 31 stories in this anthology were translated from either Sanskrit or Prakrit by Phyllis Granoff, a retired professor of religious studies at Yale University, who has also served as the editor of the Journal of Indian Philosophy and senior advisor to the Jain Heritage Preservation Project. I selected these 2 stories from The Forest of Thieves and The Magic Garden because they respectively contain the 2 metaphors mentioned in the title of this anthology. In Ardra Kumara, there is a forest of thieves, and in Arama Soba, there is a magic garden. Reading these stories will help us to explore concepts central to Jainism, such as reincarnation, karma, and renunciation. As Granoff points out in her introduction to The Forest of Thieves and The Magic Garden, stories were often a favored vehicle for preaching, didactic tools for teaching the Jain ethics passed down by the religion's series of Jainas. The most recent Jaina was Mahavira, an older contemporary of the Buddha. Like Buddhists, Jains believe in reincarnation, the transmigration of the soul from one body at the moment of its death to another body at the moment of its birth. The quality of the life to be spent in that next body is determined by one's karma. Essentially, this is a spiritual principle of cause and effect, with the sum of the soul's intentions and actions, the cause, determining its future, the the effect. Good intentions and actions create good karma, which leads to better rebirths. Bad intentions and actions create bad karma, which leads to worse rebirths. The highest goal in Jainism is to earn ultimate release from transmigratory existence, which is achieved through renunciation, the leaving behind of attachments to the world with its possessions and relationships. This central concept of Jainism, renunciation, is the central theme of the stories that Granov selected for the Forest of Thieves and the Magic Garden. As we'll see in the two stories we'll read for this module, Ardra Kumara and Aramasoba, renunciation can create the conditions for particularly compelling literature. Although the renunciation of ties to family and friends can be helpful to the religious development of the soul, it can also be hurtful to those family and friends. As Granov argues, of all types of religious literature, religious stories are perhaps the best suited to convey such ambiguities, securing a place of special importance for them in the study of religion. Will we all become experts on Jainism and these central concepts of reincarnation, karma, and renunciation by reading these two stories? Certainly not. But through our reading and discussing them, we can at least start to develop a better understanding of one of the communities that Cerritos College serves.